This season on Scotty Survivor, 20 castaways were tested like never before as they faced the high seas with crazy new twists, intense challenges, and explored innovative strategy unlike anything ever seen prior in college Survivor history. It's been a bloodbath from the very beginning, from round one blindside to players even being voted out with idols around their neck. 14 castaways have already walked the plank, and now only Lexi, Haz, Keon, Stut, Emily, and Sean remain. For 5 of them, this is where their journey ends. But for one of them, this is where they cement their legacy. The finale of Scotty Survivor Pirates Plunge starts right now.
Council went as planned, and Troy is out. I feel like the worst person alive.
Going into that council, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do, because I knew that if I could get Keon out, that would be amazing for my game, just because I would kind of force Sean to work with me. But at the end of the day, it really seemed like Sean would not want to continue working with me if I did it. He said it was my decision. I called him right before council and asked him what I should do. He said it was my decision, which I appreciated, but at the same time, I was really getting the vibe that he did not obviously want me to do it because it would be bad for him. So I ended up not doing it.
Troy got voted out. I was so sad. He was my grad student buddy. So that was too bad. And it was Sean again who flipped. I feel like Sean loves being the one in the Phoenix vote and then the Troy vote. He's the one who flips out of nowhere. And maybe we should have seen it coming this time, because Troy was definitely, as Phoenix was, a big jury threat. Makes sense to go after him.
We knew Sean was gonna flip because he wasn't saying anything. And then once 3 names for Troy were read, I was like, yep, Troy's going home. And so I was very annoyed.
They actually ended up voting for Emily and thought that they had Sean's vote to get Emily out. So that's kind of fun. Kind of felt a little annoyed. After council, I was like, so y'all really tried that, huh?
So what happened, guys? You want to have a cute little forum?
You tell me.
Yeah, let's have a forum. No. So I was told it was Keon.
Oh.
Thank you for not voting.
Brutality, my love.
No one voted for Keon.
No one voted for Keon.
But what made it worse was that Lexi turned to me instead and goes, what did you guys think you were doing voting Emily?
So what was the plan there? How did you guys think you were going to get Emily out?
Jeez. Oh my gosh, that just makes me want to bash my head into the wall. That made me so incredibly frustrated and annoyed. The things I could have said. That was such a jerk move. That was so rude, Lexi.
And I kind of regret saying that just because I was kind of bitchy. I don't know. I feel like Haz and Stut really don't like me.
Everyone claims that Lexi's really nice and she is, but game-wise, she's so rude. What gives you the entitlement to just turn to us and be like, what were you trying to do? Last week I didn't turn to her afterwards and be like, what were you trying to do voting Sean out? I wasn't like, oh, and then they were like, oh, you tried, and I could have been like, oh, I'm sorry, Jesse got the rock, maybe it'll work out next time. That's just so rude.
We thought that we could trust Sean. That
Here's
was
the thing. I heard a little
it.
something about, wanting to get me out at some point. Troy hatching a little, little thing.
Troy shouldn't have thrown Sean's name out there, which I didn't know that he was doing. And I don't know why Troy would tell Lexi and Keon to go for Sean. Troy, this is not the time. We need to go after Barbarossa.
He clearly, I guess he told me afterwards that he heard wind of you and Troy are gonna go against me. Which wasn't even true that round. So I guess we freaked him out too much. And he again didn't play the idol and just found a clever way out of it.
Long term was fine. Now it's just super messy with Haz and Stut. Haz texted me what the fuck?
Sean, bro. Every single week, I think I can trust Sean. And then he blindsides me. Sean, this one's for you. I am the only reason you're here. You owe your life to me in this game. Why don't you show it for once?
I don't know, I'm regretting my decision a little bit, but at the same time, like, I could not have guaranteed that I wouldn't have been voted out for if I just continued to trust Has, Stut, and Troy.
Sean, it was supposed to be me, you, and Stut in Final 3, and this just makes things 10 times more complicated. Sean, we could have easily gotten... Well, Sean keeps messing up my game.
In the final 6, that leaves me, Emily, Sean, Keon, Stut, and Has. And at this point, I am very, 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 very much hoping that the 4 of me, Sean, Keon, and Emily can just stay together.
Could also, go to the finals with Has and Stut. And personally, I would much rather risk one of them winning, than, who is it? I'd much rather risk one of them winning than seeing, like, Emily or Lexi, even Keon. I think Keon would be fine I would be fine with Keon winning, but especially, like, the other two, I don't know if I want to risk taking them super far.
I'm playing for Has. Like, that is who I want to win. I would be happy if she, like, goes home winning this all. So yeah, I don't know. We must protect her at all costs at this point.
I literally do not trust him. I want him gone now. But I can't say that because then I'm gonna be voted out. My best bet is to work with him and Stut.
I'm in a decently good spot, so I don't know. This is the worry with feeling like you're in a good spot, is that it may come off to others that you're, doing well, and I think that is exactly when I should be most worried, because now people might see me as a target.
So for this challenge, it's going to be a little bit more out of the ordinary. We've taken some inspiration from Big Brother. So how this is going to work is there's somebody from Survivor Michigan who's been kind enough to help us out by creating posters in the top 8. So it's the 6 that are still in the game, plus 2 more. No, it's awesome. Yeah. So what we've done is we have printed out 3 copies of everybody's posters, and we have placed them down Baker Hall.
Okay.
So what you're gonna have to do is there's a rolly chair right behind Xavier there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to roll down Baker Hall. At all times you must be in movement, so you can't slow down to stop at any point. You must memorize the order that you see the posters on the wall. So there are 3 sets of posters.
Okay.
First one will be on your right side. The second one will be about the middle on your left side.
Okay.
And the final one will be on your right side again at the very end. So then once you make it to the end, you will have an array of posters in front of you. You'll put you'll solve for the order that you saw the first set of posters on the top. Then the middle will be the second set of posters, and the third will be the final set of posters.
Okay.
And you'll solve from left to right. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Snug, make your way down the first obstacle.
Yeah, no, you're crazy. Scott, you gotta run upstairs, like you said.
Oh, I have to go. Wait. Up here.
Yeah, so we don't wait to look at the posters. You're gonna go up these stairs. This time she seems like she's moving with a little bit more purpose than the last time. She's now clapping. She's clapping as she goes. I think she has some sort of mnemonic device. Stuck going one more time. We will not be touching Stuck's answers. And now? Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll tell you how many points you have.
This was, yeah, honestly, explaining it, I was very graphics. Yeah, no, this was hard. I was so low.
Regardless of how wrong you think you were, you got every single one correct with a time of 18 minutes and 47 seconds.
Oh my god, sweet!
So congrats on that. Ideally, don't tell anybody what your time was or how many you got correct. We'll send a message to the council chat with who wanted you to be later tonight. Good job. Hell yeah.
Thank you guys.
Okay, we'll move on to the next person. Next up is Keon. Are you ready? Yep. Okay, survivors ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Keon's gonna move. Taking a slower pace than what we've seen so far. My boy didn't even care, but respect it.
Last, then Emily, then Troy.
He's back to running, not even trying this time to see if he's correct. It's a very bold strategy. Will it pay off? I don't know, but look at Joe speeding over there. That's our prod member. Let's Joe! Nothing to say this time. I think he's making a fair bit of progress, more so than expected. So we'll no longer be touching Keon's work. We're going to be keeping it as is. Let the flashes off! With a time of 19 minutes and 40 seconds, we've got every single one of these correct. Congratulations, dude.
I don't think he's getting that, so it's gonna be.
We'll find out shortly. Next up is Lexi. Lexi, are you ready?
Wait, can I turn the chair?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my god,
And with that, Lexi is off with the next set of this challenge. Oh, she's just not stopping. Lexi, you can go a little bit slower if you want.
Oh, I know, it's because she's in robotics.
Lexi absolutely roasting the competition here.
It's time.
All right, I'll ride you. Lexi taking a slower approach this time. Let's do it. Lexi just yeeted her entire wallet to me. I promise you I did it.
Manifesting that Hannah will not win, and that's all that matters.
Lexi,
Okay.
out of the 24 possible points to be get,
Let's go for 5.
got 10.
Oh!
Congratulations on getting 10 points. We'll let you know if that was enough to win individual immunity shortly. Okay, with that, we got Emily up next. Emily, all ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, Emily, get starting off. Round 2, here we go. Emily just realized what we had told her previously about the resetting. It's gonna be a long one. Next up is Haz. Haz, are you ready?
No.
I love the honesty. Okay, everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, start! Correct, I'll let you know. Walk us through your strategy. How are you feeling right now? Church is fun, I love it. Okay, we've now reached the 15-minute mark, meaning that we will no longer be touching Haz's work. Haz just ran off. We'll see if she's able to beat Stud's time. Sean, you're the final one tonight. How you feeling?
Nervous.
Okay, rightfully so. Everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, start! That was such a slow roll for such an intense opening. Okay, Sean with the real speed to start off. I mean that entirely sarcastically. He's moving slower than molasses.
Oh, this is gonna take so long.
That's scripting. Here we go.
Can I propel myself?
Yeah.
I won! I'm immune for another week, which is sweet. Yeah, honestly, I was surprised. Like, it was hard. I was exhausted by the end.
Knew I was probably going to lose to Stut because she just has an insane memory, and any memory challenge, it's basically gone to her. So, yeah, no, it was a really fun challenge. It's a shame I got second, but I think that I can still... I think there's still a shot I can be in this game.
At this point, it really seems like all of my eggs are in Sean's basket. And I really, like, I've been saying that so much. And it sucks because I can't sell it that way to the jury if I make it there. I have to make it seem like I duped him to working with me. I don't know. I feel like I am more and more thinking that I can't beat him. But at this point, I'm just trying to make it to the end. I am willing to do whatever you want to do. Like, I just want to make it to the end. I don't know. I'm scared of Keon making it to the end just because.
No, for sure.
I don't know. I feel like he's good with Barbosa and Calico
Exactly.
people.
Keon's the person I'm most scared of.
Yeah.
Like making it to final three.
Stut and Haz are like an obvious duo, which like they're scaring me for tonight's vote just because it seems like it's going to be straightforward of just the four of me, Emily, Sean, and Keon voting for Haz. But then what do Stut and Haz think they're doing? Like, I am 100% down for voting Haz out. Like, I feel like we're definitely on the same page for that. But I'm just confused about what Haz and Stut think are happening.
Sean was saying that going forward, he was going to use his like connection with Keon, Emily, Lexi to find out who the three of them plus Sean, because they think, and like Sean might be with them, but they think Sean's with them, right? So he was gonna find out who they were going for.
Keon threw your name out way before, like before Thanksgiving break, like after the last council, just as like the next person. I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Like they're allied with you.
I assume there's gonna be one of us.
I feel like you're a bigger like jury threat.
Keon sees me as a threat, so they're all voting me this week, which makes me very nervous because now I have to put all my trust into Sean. Say we vote out Lexi then Emily, but then Keon wins immunity. That kind of just like, then we have to go after each other, but I think Emily would be less likely to win than Keon. We're gonna vote Lexi, they're voting me, which kind of sucks because this is gonna be like the first time where my name is actually written other than that one council.
We decided on Lexi just because I think Lexi's the biggest jury threat. Like, I don't know, her last couple of weeks have been awesome. Like, she deserves the votes, right? But also, like, it is a reason to vote her out.
Lexi, I think, is the biggest jury threat at this point because her and her little, not facade, just how she is, I guess, but her little, oh guys, I'm so sorry for betraying you. Oh, Sean, give me a hug. This is so mean. But her whole thing about, like, she's very apologetic and very, very good at making you feel bad for her and very good at guilting you into working with her or not working or, not voting against her even after she stabbed you in the back 5 rounds in a row. Not that happened to anyone in particular, but overall, Lexi's dangerous in like a, Q&A session.
You play the idol on Haz.
Yes.
Haz is out of the running.
Me, Lexi, Keon, Emily. Just majority vote Haz out. Good thing about that is I would still have my idol going into, like the last round. I can use it.
It just comes down to whether or not Haz trusts Sean to play the idol for her or not. She seems pretty unsure. I honestly, I don't really trust Sean anymore in general, but I kind of think he will play the idol for her, because, she's done a lot for him. I feel like he'll respect that, and I don't know, I'm sure he sees her as a threat at this point, right? But I feel like he'll probably play the idol.
Sean and Keon are very close. And that's concerning, because I think either Sean's not going to use the idol on me, or he's going to use the idol on me, and then next week he's going to be like, oh, we're even, I can vote you out now. So he has a tiny bit of morals, but not enough to make him a good person.
One issue, well, a couple issues. One is, Lexi, I feel is very much a loose cannon, and although right now I think she trusts me to the point where she thinks I want to take her to the final 2, I think she could easily be swayed, so I'm not sure how long. One, I just hate lying to her, and it's weighing too much on my conscience to keep doing that, so I think Lexi might have to go sooner rather than later.
I've been working closely with Sean, and I think a major problem is I have all my eggs in one basket right now with Sean. I'm putting a lot of faith into him. I've played my game heavily on trusting people. I trusted Josiah a lot. I trusted Ola a lot. And unfortunately, those 2 allies are no longer in the game. So I guess I moved on to Sean. I realized, listen, I need to find someone I can really trust, and that person's Sean. Now, Sean has the idol. Now, our plan is, or it was his plan. He came up with it. Because originally we were just going to vote out Haz. But then we realized that, he wanted to get out Lexi. And I have no problem with it. I think Lexi's a dangerous player. And I think that it doesn't really affect my game so much, other than the fact that I would have to betray her.
Definitely tried getting close with Haz, early on, but then, she just never, she stopped talking to me.
Haz is a threat to win, and no one else sees her as a threat to win, but I feel like she's really made some strong relationships in the game, and that is scary to me. Just because, I don't know, I feel like she could really get all the Calico people's votes because she was loyal to them.
Use the idol on Haz, and then we get Lexi out. So Lexi's gone, and now we're down to 5. And the good thing about that, Haz and Stut will fully trust me and think that I want to take them to the final 3, but then this is where it changes from the Calico plan, because then I go back to sticking with Keon and Emily.
But now here's the beauty of the plan. I don't have to betray her. It's Sean that betrays her. Now, I don't think Sean understands, or I don't know why Sean is doing this, because realistically speaking, I mean, we could just all vote for Lexi. There wouldn't be a problem. It would look like we all betrayed Lexi. Now, what Sean wants to do is he wants to split the vote 3-3.
So Keon just called me and presented to me Sean's master plan, which is that Keon and I are going to vote for Haas, but we know that Sean is going to play the idol on Haas, so Lexi will end up going home. This seems almost too good to be true.
It would be 3-3, but because Sean plays his idol for Haz, that would cancel the votes for Haz, and Lexi would go home. Now, as I talk about it, I realize that this makes no sense. I mean, I could be getting blindsided. The problem is I trust Sean, and that's the biggest problem right now, is I feel comfortable.
I've been watching Survivor myself, and it just is so embarrassing to watch people get blindsided that I'm like horrified that's happening. But hopefully it's not.
It's when you feel comfortable that, you know, something sketchy could be going on.
Obviously, Keon told me tonight that he and I will be voting for Haas, and Sean will play the idol, and Lexi will go home. And so if you watch that call, I only ever said that I knew for a fact Keon and I were voting for Haas.
But yeah, so like in terms of this vote, yeah, like Keon very much seemed down for doing Haz.
But, you know, I obviously still care about Lexi a lot, like, and I feel really bad about that. So in an effort to help her without like sabotaging my own game, I was like, we should say that you have an idol. And like I came up with this whole conspiracy. It was gonna go so well. And if she had just said yes.
Lex, I feel like you should do it this time. If Sean is gonna use an idol, it will not be next time. Think of it
like I feel like it would be next time though, because
Lexi,
like he knows that we're going
out. Lexi, if he gets you out this round, I'm not saying that's what's happening because I don't know. I literally haven't talked to him. But your little anxiety is infecting me. If he gets you out this round, it is 1 Barbarossa and 4 Calico.
Yeah.
So why on earth would he wait to use the idol until it's 3 Barbarossa and 2 Calico?
And it was like coming up with a fake idol that I had to use at final 6. It was like crazy. And then it was like an extra vote or something. I don't even know. I was really confused and very stressed and very out of it while she was talking to me. So I felt bad because I felt like I wasn't being super like responsive, but I was just like trying to wrap my fucking head around the rest of this game.
But I couldn't push it too much because then she would be like, what do you know? Do you know that they're voting me out? And she ended up saying no. So unless I'm being lied to, unfortunately I think that means she's going home.
What do they think is gonna happen? And I'm worried that something's happening against me. I'm gonna talk to Sean before the vote. We're meeting at 4:30, so like an hour from now. But I'm just worried about what they think is happening. Because, like, especially Haz, she would not go down without a fight.
Don't understand how Lexi, who's been so frightened and scared, could put all of her faith in Sean. Which makes me think that, like, maybe he's been telling her that, like, she and him, I don't even fucking know, that, like, he's gonna play the idol on Haas and they're gonna vote for me.
What they think is happening is that we're gonna go and, like, Haz will get the votes, and then they think I'm gonna use my idol to save Haz.
Okay.
Which, you know, would be cute, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, but that's what I assumed was happening.
Exactly.
But like what they thought was gonna happen. So,
and then they're gonna vote for Emily.
Yeah.
So that's what they're.
Okay, they're voting Emily though.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So,
So you're not even on the chopping board this time.
My biggest worry right now is A, Sean plays this immunity idol on Haz, which, like, at that point, Keon, Emily, and I would hopefully vote out Sean, but there was a big chance that they would vote me out.
Oh my god, are you gonna Troy me and like just take me out because it's better for you to go with Haz and us stud to the end? Okay, maybe actually 6, we should take Haz out. She's just such a big jury threat.
I'm nervous because Sean flip-flops, but what if he's stopping flip-flopping?
Haz seems pretty convinced that he's gonna actually play the idol for her, and I can see it because I guess also, okay, so when we were all like heading out, Sean and I were like going in the same direction. Haz was going in a different direction, so I like ended up talking to Sean for a little bit longer just as we were walking, and I was kind of just trying to grill him a little bit on like we're in the final 6 people. Like, you've been like very much so like playing for yourself this entire time, and you've done an excellent job. Like, I don't know if I believe, right, that you're gonna play this idol with this few people left for Haz.
He swore on dead dogs. And like, I think I swore, okay, so one time to him and Troy, I think it was, I swore on dead dogs. I don't remember what it was, but that's like a thing my friends used to do. They swear on dead dogs because you can't lie on dead dogs. That's really messed up. So if he lies on dead dogs, Sean deserves to lose.
I would feel worse about betraying Lexi if I didn't know that she was willing to flip and vote for Lily, who is nothing but nice to this girl. So, mixed feelings, mixed bag.
I'm a little skeptical of his plan because it doesn't make much sense. Because why not just have me vote Lexi?
Slight chance that Haz and Stott know that I'm using the idol on them, at which point they can choose anyone, and they could potentially see me as a dangerous, like, see me as a threat, and decide to vote me out, at which point I would literally have nothing I could do.
I really do feel like there is potential for Sean to want to take me to the end, because that's what, you know, he's been telling me, but at the same time, I don't know if he's lying to me, which is very likely, and would hurt my feelings, and I would not vote for him.
Blackbeard, come on in! We will now welcome in the members of our jury. Vita and Troy voted out at the last council. Haz, you look pretty surprised to see Troy go. Were you in on that plan? Are you feeling kind of nervous tonight that it could be you?
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on at all last council. And I told Stott that I feel like Josiah, because I feel like there were times where he was like left out. But so yeah, I think that's gonna hurt me.
Stott, kind of in a similar position, you looked very, very shocked when Troy left. It's no secret that you and Troy were kind of buddies, grad school students. So you've now won your 3rd immunity in a row. How crucial is that for tonight? And how does having immunity kind of like point your game forward? Do you think you're becoming a threat towards the end now because you won 3 immunities?
I feel scared because, like you said, like I had no idea Troy was gonna go to that last time. I think these 4 all voted Troy out last time. I'm immune, but that leaves Haz as a major target, and I feel like there's so few of us at this point. Like, if I lose someone I'm closely allied with, like, that doesn't look good for me in the future weeks. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously safe tonight, but I don't feel good going forward.
Emily, your name has come up round after round after round. You've gotten probably the most votes we've ever had in Scotty Survivor history. Why are they coming for you all the time? And do you think it's you tonight?
I honestly don't know why my name always ends up being the one written down. I don't think I'm all that much of a threat, seeing as, like, I've never won an immunity challenge, and besides maybe 3 people in the jury, I'm not securing anybody else's votes, because I've had a hand in voting them out every time. But, you know, I guess I'm an easy target. Or maybe I'm just really pretty. Hopefully it's that one.
Keon, on the flip side, we haven't seen your name a lot. Do you think that's concerning towards the end game, since maybe you're feeling like you could be a target?
I think everyone at this point in the game knows that it can be you anytime. It takes one action to start that chain of reactions for you getting voted out. So I'm nervous every vote, but hopefully this summit isn't me.
Lexi, we're getting close to the end here. We still haven't seen the merge idol, wherever it may be. How concerning is the power of idols and advantages in the game?
I looked for it. I was unsuccessful, unfortunately. But yeah, I feel like someone has to have it, and someone may have gone home with it, but I really doubt that. And especially because idols can only be used until Final 5 unless things were changed for this game. But for all intents and purposes, we're expecting that this idol can only be used till Final 5. That is this next vote. So this round and next round is definitely a concern, and next round I feel like it's gonna really affect the way things go.
Sean, we have, after tonight, 2 more votes before the finals. And you're basically starting to pick who is going to be sitting next to any of you, potentially. How are you going about figuring out who your best odds of winning are against?
At this point, we're down to like the bare minimum of people, where every single vote matters every single time. So at this point, I'm just trying to find, a couple people who I can trust, people who I, think I can work with and go with all the way to the end, and just hope that, they don't turn on me, and that, hope that they can trust me in return. But at this point, I feel like anyone could switch at any time. So I'm really unsure what's going to happen going forward, but I'm just hoping that whoever I can't trust, I can continue to trust.
We can get to the vote. Keon, you're up first.
See if I trusted the right person.
Sean, hopefully you don't play your idol on Haz. If you do, fuck you.
Lexi, I pinky promise that I'll never vote you out. Oh wait, I forgot pinky promises mean nothing to you.
I have the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or another advantage and wants to play it, now is the time to do so. Who's this for?
I don't know. Does anyone want it? Haz wants it. I'll give it to Haz.
Did you guys get that? Did you get that, John? Alright, this is a real hidden immunity idol. All votes for Haz will not count. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and the person voted out will be asked to leave the council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Haz does not count. Haz does not count. Third vote. Haz does not count. That's 3 votes for Haz that don't count. 3 votes left. Lexi. That's 1 vote, Lexi. Next vote. And the 15th person voted out of Scotty Survivor Pirates Plunge and the 8th member of our jury. Lexi. Tonight, that's 2. That's enough. Please bring me your torch.
Sean is winning this game. Do not let him get the lead. 100% he's gonna win this game.
Lexi, tonight, you should miss it. Here you go. Call out on the way out. You've got 2 more votes left. Who will make it to the end? Only time will tell. Let's get ready for the next challenge.
So that fucking sucked. I really didn't trust Sean. He's not getting my vote to win. I'm a bitter person. I'm not voting just on gameplay. I don't know. I hope Emily wins this. She's the only person that I would be happy to vote for at this point. I'm glad I did it. I knew I would regret it if I didn't apply, and I'm glad I got to play. It sucks being voted out, but at least I made it this far. It's been really fun getting to play and rehearse in a game that I really love. Yeah, that's it.
Final 5, welcome to your immunity challenge. You're competing for a spot in the final 4 today. Today you'll be competing in what we call Pirate's Revenge, and here's how it works. You have a puzzle right in front of you. The answer to each part of the puzzle is the name of someone you competed against in this game. Every name will be used once and only once. You have to complete this entire puzzle only using your memory. No help from anyone else, no help from your phone, no phone a friend, nothing like that. Really high stakes. On my go, we'll get started. Okay. Everybody ready? Flip in 3, 2, 1, start.
shit. Wait, no.
They're writing like nobody's business. This is the challenge to watch. You see, it involves so much precision. They need to be making sure that they're holding the pencil in a way that does not slip out of their hand. Because if it slips out of their hand, it's going to roll all the way down the stairs. If it rolls all the way down the stairs, someone could slip on it. And then they have to not only find a way to treat the pencil, but they also need to find a way to treat the person who now has an injured body part. And if you're doing that, then you might be criminally liable in like some sort of lawsuit, where they might be suing not only Scotty Survivor, but also you for endangering their life. So if you are tied up in a lawsuit, your odds of winning this challenge are a lot lower. So this is really important. A lot on the line here. Let's see it.
You know how dumb I am? I put myself down. I'm not on the list. I'm not on the list. That's I'm actually so
Okay. Okay. I don't remember why I said wait. Okay. Check. Wait, no.
Has no longer needing a check. Sean, furiously writing.
I'm like, I kind of guessed on that. Maybe.
Sean asked for a check right before Has. I'll take theirs right here. Okay. If you want to see, go one by one. And with that, congratulations, Sean. You're guaranteed a spot in the Final Four. Oh my God. Sean, you've won your first individual immunity of this game. Arguably the most important so far. This is all yours. Come on over. To the rest of you. Now, you got a few days before council. We saw a crazy council just before this. It's only going to get crazier today towards the end. Best of luck, almost there.
I made it to the final 5. And I'm so happy that for once Sean stuck to his word.
Everything went completely to plan, which I almost didn't 100% expect, because this round I was kind of paranoid that people were starting to catch on. Well, I think people have caught on that I'm very much, in the middle of every single group. I feel like that's such a dangerous spot to be in.
I realized the same thing that Keon realized as we were going in. We were texting each other. And we were like, this is so much trust we're putting in Sean. And what we talked about afterwards, even though the plan worked and Lexi went home and we acted surprised, what we talked about afterwards was that why would you use that play, right? Sean did not know that he was safe come Final 5 or even Final 4.
Sean won it, but Has and Sean had both completed it, which I don't know. Honestly, dude, I guess I'm pretty tight with both of them, so either of them winning is a much better outcome than Emily winning it.
I'm in the best spot I've ever been in this entire game, and that's mostly because of this thing right here. I have won my first challenge of the season. I haven't even, this is the first time holding this season's immunity idol, and honestly, I've just been sitting here. Last night, I spent so long literally just playing with this thing and looking at it, because it's so sick to finally have one of these.
Sean winning with a buzzer beater was pretty good. I'd rather him than anyone else, and now I'm in a situation where I got to put a lot of faith into him, because he told me after the challenge that Has is still the vote.
Right now, both sides, strangely, fully trust me, which I don't know how I got myself into the situation where I'm in such a perfect position at Final 5. Super lucky, but I guess, now I can kind of say a little bit of skill, a little bit of manipulation. Has and Stut fully trust me. They think I'm taking them to the Final 3.
I'm never voting on Stut.
Emily, 100%. Is that her? No, it's not her. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, we've tried that so many times. It's honestly really impressive how many votes she's gotten without getting voted off. It's kind of great. That makes me want to keep her in. But no, we're voting for Emily this week.
Pretty confident that the 3 of us are going to stick together.
I mean, I think Sean made that decision and he can't go back on it now, like, to work with us. And then Stut, I think, who else is she going to work with? Like, Keon? And so I think they mentioned Emily's name first, but I don't know. It's really tough because if we keep Emily, but then she wins the next challenge, then she's going to win. But out of Emily and Keon, I feel like Keon is more likely to win the next challenge.
I could get them to target Keon, being like, hey, this kid's gonna be dangerous in the Final Four challenge, we can't let him get immunity, so let's do Keon and keep Emily, because she's less likely to win. On the other side, we can vote out Emily, because, you know, she's the bigger jury threat, and she'll get all the Barbarossa votes if she wins the next week and makes to the Final Three for sure.
Why use the idol now, just if you're gonna turn around and backstab Haz? I don't... That just... Like Keon and I were talking about, is basically that, like, if they're gonna flip, if not there, because apparently Sean has told Keon they're very adamant about voting me this coming tribal. If they're gonna vote me, and that succeeds, then that'll be, like, there's nothing Keon and I can do about that. Like, they're not gonna work with us.
Sean is basically the deciding vote right here. He can decide whether he wants to go to the final with Stutton Has, which I've tried to tell him that he won't win that final, which maybe he will, maybe he won't, and or he can go with Emily and I, or he could vote out Has and then spice it up next round. But right now, him winning immunity puts him in the best position possible to pick his final three. So I hope that I've talked to him enough where he'll stick with me, and he's stuck with me through most of it, so I do trust him.
Keon and Emily are fully on board to vote Has, so, you know, I just vote with them, and Has would be out.
Sean's really been, like, flipping back and forth pretty successfully, and so if he continues that trend and we see another flip this week, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might get surprised.
If the three of us make it to Final Three, then we make it to Final Three.
So we just have to fucking hope that Sean is telling the truth. I would possibly be down to blindside him Final Four, but it is what it is.
I fully decide who goes home this next round, like 100%.
Blackbeard, come on in. We will now welcome in the members of our jury. Vita, Phoenix, Lily, Jesse, and Troy. Sean, let's start with you. Last round in Lexi's elimination, she called you out pretty hard. What did you think of that? Do you think she was right? Should they be concerned about you?
I mean, if they are, there's nothing they can do about this round, so I'm not too worried. But I'm flattered that she thinks that I'm capable of winning, honestly. But yeah, I mean, we only have a couple rounds left, and I think that definitely put a target on my back a little bit. So getting immunity that last time was really essential for me.
Emily, did Sean winning immunity kind of change your plans? Do you think he was the target after Lexi called him out?
No, I mean, like, Sean's the one who's had 2 large advantage plays, but, like, I don't know, I think that between a lot of us sitting here, like, we all individually or together help fuck over, like, everybody on the jury, like, and, like, Jack helped do, like, large moves, but I don't know, I don't think that's the only thing that makes us bad.
Emily just said that, like, having large moves isn't the only thing that makes a good strategy. How do you feel about that, and where does your head kind of fit into what you're looking for in getting to the end?
No, I agree. Everyone has a different gameplay that gets them to where they need to be. I think each one of us here has different sort of gameplay. Some of us like to fly under the radar, some of us make big moves, and ultimately we're all just doing what's best for our game. And for me, I mean, I think my strategy is pretty clear, just like staying loyal to the people I trust. And I just put a lot of trust in other people, and I hope they do the same to me.
Stut, it's the first round in a little bit that you're like up for a vote. We haven't seen your name a lot on the papers. Do you think that it could be you tonight, or do you think that people really aren't concerned with you at this point?
I don't feel that worried for me tonight.
I feel worried for some people I'm close with. I feel like I've kind of been getting blindsided like every other week because someone's been flip-flopping, and so I don't know, if we're due for another one of those, I'm kind of worried.
Do you think that there's a certain person who's flip-flopping?
I think it might have happened a few times.
Looking pretty much at Sean, he's making a face.
Yeah, no, so that's kept things exciting, is Sean going back and forth. And if we keep going like 1 week, another week, that would mean I get blindsided this week, so.
Sean, is that a pattern or just coincidence?
I don't know what. I guess that did happen. But I can't say for certain what I'll do tonight. And patterns are meant to be broken. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Keon. We've got a Final Four challenge coming up. You got the hint that you'll be here for a couple hours. So
I might not be here for a couple hours. The 4 of us are going to be here for a couple hours.
So you think that you could be getting voted out right now?
There's a chance that everyone gets voted out except Sean. Sean can't get voted out, but I think that there's a very good possibility that one of us gets blindsided. I mean, you're in the Final Four, and there's no easy vote. It hinges on one person, and that person decides the fate of the game.
All right, let's vote. We'll start with Emily this time.
I don't think this is gonna work, but if it does, I'm gonna blindside that fool next round. It's just ridiculous.
Emily, if this goes for the billionth time, screw you deserve to win.
I'm putting all my faith in Sean. Again.
I'll go tally the votes. I have the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or another advantage and wants to play it, now is the last time you can do so. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and the person voted out will be asked to leave the council area immediately. First vote, Emily. That's 1 vote, Emily. Next vote, Has. That's 1 vote, Emily. 1 vote, Has. 3 votes left. Next vote, Emily. That's 2 votes, Emily. 1 vote, Has. 2 votes left. Has. That's 2 votes, Emily. 2 votes, Has. 1 vote left. And the 16th person voted out of Scotty Survivor, Pirates, Plunge, and the 9th member of our jury, Emily.
Sean.
Emily. After a record high of 24 votes this season, 3 is enough today. Emily, your ship has sailed.
Okay, so that was pretty fun. Obviously I saw it coming. If my phone was not dead, I was literally gonna wake up and film a confessional. It was like, ain't no way I don't go home today, right? But fun fact, now I get to be on the jury and use my top in the nation skills to make sure Keon wins and Sean doesn't.
Okay, come on in, y'all. Welcome to your final immunity challenge. Today, you'll be holding on for dear life, as it's how bad you want it is going to determine how well you do in today's game. Here's how it's going to work. You see this poll right next to me. We're bringing back a classic from season 1. Might remember Leo versus Audrey at the end of that challenge with Olivia and Sarah making a deal, resulting in Olivia winning final immunity. We're going to see who wins final immunity today. You will be on this poll. You'll then be leaning backwards. We'll be telling you at different points how far you must be leaning and how many hands you're allowed to have on the pole. Final person standing wins, gets a guaranteed spot to say their piece to the jury. The rest of you, one of you will be the final member of the jury, not making it to the final tribal council. Okay, with that, there are 4 different spots. We'll draw for spots and we'll get started. For immunity and a spot in the final 3, please step on the pole now. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1. We're on. Okay, y'all. If your feet ever touch the ground, you will be eliminated. We'll have people watching. Otherwise, it's just mind over matter. Best of luck. You'll need it.
I'm so nervous.
I'm feeling good. I have one hand in my pocket right now because if you're holding on, might as well keep one hand warm. And I'll just keep switching up because, I mean, why not keep one hand warm? So, yeah, that's my strategy right now. And I'd like to think that I'm going to be the last one here because I have nothing to do today. So I'll just stand here for a while.
Well, honestly, I'm tempted to just drop and hope that I don't get voted out at this point. Gotta go study for my Orgo final. Don't know if I can stick around for a few hours.
Never guarantee. I'd rather rest easy. You know?
Right, you'd rather get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. I'd rather go to bed. Right. Nice knowing I'm in the final, rather than having to stress out.
Hopefully Keon doesn't win.
Stott has a new strategy.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stay like this. Hug the pole.
Oh my god, that's really smart. Thanks, Stott. Really good idea. Rest the legs.
I don't know how their hands aren't cold.
So we're working on their first stage. They will move on to the second stage where they lead backwards in a 15-minute time.
Yo, but you're such an ass.
I know, right?
I love it. Alright, well, when I step off, I'll know which way to do it.
Which way to fall in?
No, I like this because this is just pure willpower.
Okay, everyone, we've now reached 15 minutes, meaning please stand up on your pole. You will now be leaning backwards. We need full body extension, arms extended out, lean back with all of your weight. I'll walk to each of you to make sure you're okay. If at any point you fall and touch the ground, either your feet or your back or anything, you're eliminated from this challenge. We will stay here for the next half hour. Good luck.
You're getting nervous. I have a feeling this is going to go for a very long time. And I'm not gonna, this is going to go for a very long time and I won't be here to be honest.
If I fall, I die. So let's just not fall.
For context, there's a very
solid,
big drop
6-foot
there.
drop there.
No matter who wins immunity, I think there is a way to still make the final 3. If it's not Keon, I think it's a simple vote Keon. Is Keon with immunity? It's a little more complicated, but I think Keon will vote with me because he wants to get Haz out. So then I just have to get Haz and Stott to not vote together. I think it's possible. So, you know, not too much risk of dropping is what I'm thinking. Still thinking about just dropping right away, but I just think it looked bad.
Willful survivors, you are now going to be switching to the next phase of this challenge. You will be moving to only using one hand, leaning fully back. We'll give you these first 15 minutes that if you realize it's the wrong hand, you can't hold on too well with your right hand, you can switch to your left in the first 15. We're only allowing one switch, however. After we reach the hour mark, no further switches. It's game on. Let's see it.
I'm worried though. Like Keon looks very fine right now, just like moving around on that pole, and that is the person I don't want to win this.
So you think they would make some deal with?
Yeah, the problem is like anything I scream to Haz and Sean, Keon must hear.
Yeah.
So.
Sean, talk to us.
So my arm's a little bit tired, and I think that talking to the others might be a little bit more effective than holding on to this pole. So,
Sean is out of the challenge!
I thought Sean was going to win this challenge. That's pretty good that he didn't. See? To my right hand. I think everyone switched, right? Alright, this is a sign.
Okay, Haz has switched!
Keon I can't feel
switched.
it. It's like yellow.
God has
Ow!
Alright, so here's the game plan. I'm gonna try to convince Keon that Stott is on board with me.
I feel like he's not gonna believe that Scott and you are turning. He thought that for the last 2 weeks.
You could believe I'm
Are you talking to me? I think I have a decent chunk left in me. I'm not making it to the final if I don't win, so.
I feel like Keon has a very good chance of winning this one.
Do you think
So we have to make a deal.
Can convince him
We need to convince him that you will vote Has.
What's going on? You can do a stud? Talking business for stud?
I have been talking business with stud.
Did you ask her if there's any chance she wants out Has? Because that's the only way I see it. What'd she say?
She said it's not her ideal, but she said she could be down.
Stud drops, or if she can keep going, she can keep going. But then when stud drops and it's 1v1 against Has, I can take her. But the problem is that if Stud wants to keep going, she can keep going. I'll keep going until my arm literally.
Yeah. What makes you think you're going home?
Well, I don't know. Like, you guys just blindsided me.
I can offer you guys $100 each. Damn it.
I care more about making it to the final than $100.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was offering it.
Listen, you guys know me as a man of my word. If you guys, okay, Lexi, when Lexi gave me the idol, I promise you guys tell me who to vote, you guys drop, I will vote. The problem is it's only Sean, but that's the problem.
So for you to drop without like your hand burning off, you would need us to promise you safety?
What? Yeah.
I'll think about it. Shit.
Should I talk to Stud?
What to do? I think Keon's gonna outlast me.
I think Keon has the best chance of outlasting.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I'll
really
be honest.
freaking nervous.
Fuck, maybe we should have done Keon this round. Emily would have.
Emily would not have
Emily
won.
would have lost this.
It's fine.
They kind of
We
screwed.
couldn't risk it.
Yeah, I guess.
There's nothing you can give me. Listen, if Sean's in the bathroom, I'll make a deal right now. I will be here a very long time, and we can all be here together and figure out who can win this. But usually deals are made, and that's fine. What do you need me to give you? Get like 3 later.
Doesn't seem like they realize that Sean is back yet. They're making
Paz, what do you want to do?
conversation.
I want to be safe this week. I haven't been safe for so long.
What are your thoughts on them trying to make a final 3 deal?
Then you have to be here a little bit. But we can fight this out. Like, I genuinely,
Anything they could do.
like, I mean, I want to, like, I'd rather just, like,
Now they realize Sean is back.
but, like, if you guys don't want to, that's fine.
I feel like the only way to do it is to convince him that like Haz and I are doing so fine too.
Yeah,
And so Haz
At this
Haz
point,
is like
I
a threat
think
and a challenge.
deals are almost impossible at this point.
They have now been going for 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's crazy.
If I betray your trust and write your name down, I'll give you $500. Same deal goes for Stud.
Wait, say that again.
I give you $500 if I vote you out. Basically, this is me buying your trust. We'll write a contract right now. If I write your name down, I'll give you $500.
Solid deal.
Can you guarantee that you'll write my name down? Like,
No. If I don't write your name, so what I'm saying is, basically,
I know. I'm saying I want the $500.
because you'll have a chance at the final to win $300. I will give you guys $500. It's on camera. I'm not a piece of shit. I'll give you $500. I'm not gonna write your name down because I don't want to give either of you guys $500. But that is me basically saying, if you don't trust me, you'll win $500, which would make no sense because I'm not gonna win the game, so I'd just be like 500 in the hole.
So it's fucking Sean over.
It is fucking
correct. That is what I'm hearing right now.
That is what you're hearing. Anything to say?
I did just now make that connection.
I can't believe. Maybe Stuck can outlast him.
Unless if you don't accept this, then you really don't want me in your final 3. Because at that point, it would make no sense. Like, you're basically, by accepting that, you're guaranteeing yourself. Because I'm not going to pay you guys $500, but I'll give you a $200 deposit just to show I'm serious.
In a game about lying on camera, Keon says he will no longer lie on camera.
You can Venmo yourself right now $200. Grab my phone. Both of you guys.
All right, you won't write my name down? What? You won't write my name down? No. Swear?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if your bribe goes through and you get stuff to drop,
I won't win, but at least I get to say my word in the jury.
Yeah, Haz. So what's your plan? I just couldn't stay on anymore, so I was like, I have to speak to
Yes.
But you really don't think you can beat me in Haz?
Well, I'm just discussing with Haz.
Do you think he's telling the
I
truth?
think he's telling the truth. I feel like Keon would lie about this.
Can you
future Survivor players. Strapped with 1K and you can win this entire game.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of getting close to Has style. Like, my hand is slipping. And, yeah.
It's the same deal. If I don't vote Sean, you win $500, which is, I will vote Sean because I'm not going to go 500 in the hole.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I don't like it, but my hand is, like, yeah, I think I... Yeah, I accept.
Alright, let's see it.
Smack! Let's go! Oh! Let's go!
Keon, you have won a guaranteed spot in
my
the
hand.
final 3.
It's red.
Keon,
All right.
it's yours.
Scoop.
We have ripped it off the thing.
Look at my hand. Stop. If we can get a close-up shot, individual immunity is his.
Feel bad.
Congratulations
Finals, man.
to the rest of you. We'll see you tomorrow for the final elimination of Season 3 of Scotty Survivor. Thank you so much. Throw it back to Shane for the rest of the finale.
Emily went out, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, so easy, nothing to it. And then Keon won the stupid challenge. He was literally the last person I wanted to win, and I tried to bribe him. I would have paid him. I would have paid $100.
The only way I saw myself winning was if Emily was on the jury, but I had no part in voting her out. So I thought the scenario would be we'd have to go to making fire, and she'd have to lose making fire. But I took out the possibility of Sean flipping on us. So this gives me an opportunity to present my case in front of the jury and have someone I worked pretty close with towards the end of the game and who trusted me and who I didn't turn on the jury as well.
It's kind of weird how, like, if you had asked me to, like, bet on who was gonna win in, like, the beginning of the season, I would not have picked any of the 4 of us, like, ever. I feel like we were all kind of more, like, underdogs, and then we just, like, lasted it out until the end.
For their game, it didn't make sense to vote Emily because she wasn't that much of a challenge threat. I think she was a bigger threat than me to win the game, but I think her in the challenge would not have done as good as me, which I think messed up their plan because I think their plan was for them 3 to go to the final, which is why during the challenge I knew I had to win or else I was out, and that's why I was like, you know, trying my best because I'd put in 3 months of work. What's another 20 minutes of pain on my arm?
Went into the challenge thinking, hey, you know, one of the 3 of us just needs to win. Keon winning, not ideal, but I could work around it because I was like, I've worked with Keon more than the other 2. If he wins, his ideal has always been me, Keon, Stut. So there's no reason for him to just not vote out Has.
Sean kept coming up and talking to me about how Stut was ready to flip on Has, and I'm pretty sure he was lying to me because I don't think Stut was ever going to flip on Has. So I think he was lying to me to try and get me to, you know, drop so them 3 would go to the finals.
We went to lunch where we filmed absolutely nothing because we weren't talking game, but the entire time was Keon just like, oh, I was just faking it. Like once the camera's on you, you just gotta be like, you just gotta fake it so you make it. The second you guys showed a sign of weakness, boom, adrenaline rush. And he was like, I don't know why they would keep me over Emily. She's got popcorn lungs. Yeah, the way I played was like, I didn't want anyone to know about my alliances. And he was like, did you guys know about my alliance with Josiah? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, did you guys know about my alliance with Ola? And I was like, yeah. And he was just doing too much. Yeah, after I didn't even go to the first challenge, I thought for sure that I was gone. Yeah, my confessionals are lacking. Like, the viewers aren't gonna know anything I did because everything I did was behind the scenes. Like, I did so much that just isn't on camera. They were all over like phone calls and it's secret. He was like, yeah, so I'm the only one that's gotten 0 votes. And Stut was like, I haven't gotten a vote. But then Stut was like, and then I was like, no, wait, that one time we voted out Vita. And so he was like, yeah, that's not truly 0 votes. I'm the only 0 votes. And then, oh my god, so annoying.
Keon said that if we dropped, he would give us $500 if he voted for us. So it was pretty much like insurance for us. Like we were convinced at that point that he wouldn't vote for us if we dropped. But no money is actually exchanged in the end, which is a little disappointing. But he did offer $200 up front to, I don't know, make us trust him.
He said he's guaranteed voting for Sean. And I was like, okay, as long as it's not me. Which, it's not ideal, but like, I knew that I wasn't going to win that challenge.
As I said on my deal, I have to vote Sean. So I'm a man of my word. I've prided myself on trying to, when I give someone my word like that I will not flip. And obviously I'm going to vote Sean, but I think he spoke with Haz, and I think Haz was considering flipping.
All three of us, minus Keon, want one of the other three of us to win over Keon. Like, Keon winning is the most, like, the least ideal situation for all of us. Like, we've been in this since day one, since the Troy vote, and now we are so close to being final three, and we got it fucking torn away from us by this little bitch.
Pretty much Sean is just trying to convince both of us that we'll have a better shot if it's Keon, like whichever one of us he's trying to convince, and him in the final three, as opposed to like Haz, myself, and Keon in the final three.
Haz and Stut together do not have that chance.
If he and Keon are both in the final three, that will split the Barbarossa vote, and then he's trying to convince us that the rest of the Calico vote would then go to whichever one of us was like in the final three. I'm not convinced. Well, okay, I am convinced that he would split the Barbarossa vote, but I think he would then also get part of the Calico vote and probably go home with like the whole thing.
Stut was like, you make a very compelling case, but I just can't turn against Haz. Haz is like, you make a very good argument. I just can't turn against Stut.
At the concert a couple weeks ago, I'd never vote her. Oh, I'm sorry.
So the same thing done. Whatever.
Did I say the same thing to you?
I mean, you said to our whole group, so it's like, either way, you're...
I have to vote one of you guys. I'm sorry.
And for that idol class. I could have voted Haz out 15 times this season. And I was like, no, I need someone I can trust. I trust Haz. I like Haz as a person. I'm down for Haz to be in the final three with me. Sorry, I'm guilt tripping you now.
I'm gonna walk away now.
No, Haz,
like,
no, Haz.
Wait,
no, Haz, I'm not Haz. He doesn't even have to vote Stut out. If you vote me, or no, vote Stut, then it's like your vote doesn't matter. It's just a matter of which of us is better at the challenge. So it's like voting me out or
Oh my gosh, you keep making a compelling argument.
I have to be there. It does not work otherwise. I don't care if I don't win at this point. I will, like, past few rounds, I've been like, this shit's in the bag for me. I am guaranteed top three, fully making it to the end. Now, I would go to that last final council, and I would beg, like, plead my case for Haz. I am fine with seeing her winning over the other two.
I kind of want to ask Scott if she'd be really mad. Like, obviously she would be. I don't want to, like, blindside her, so I want to tell her what I'm thinking. I don't even know what I'm thinking. I mean, fire making would be really interesting. Oh man, I feel bad about Sean. He worked really hard to get here. He didn't have to do it in this way, but he did a lot of stuff to get here.
It's really going to be up to Haz if she trusts Stut enough, because ultimately if she trusts Stut, there's no doubt she should vote Sean. But if she doesn't and thinks Stut might flip, it's up to her to maybe vote her.
I'm done. I can't with this game anymore.
We will now welcome in the members of our jury, Vita, Phoenix, Mia, and Troy. Just this morning, we saw Emily get voted out, somebody who's been a pretty polarizing figure throughout this season. Stut, we said she got 24 votes this entire season. How is Emily being out of the game affecting the dynamic now?
Dude, honestly, I feel like Emily had a really strong jury presence, and I think we were all kind of threatened by that. To be honest though, like, until she actually walked off with the torch, I kind of thought she wasn't going to go home just because we've seen her so many times, like, get all these votes and tried to vote her out, and she's just stuck around.
Keon, you seem to be blindsided by this fact. You yelled Sean, like, out in the middle of council. How did you feel about Emily leaving today?
I was definitely surprised. I spoke with Sean the night before. He told me he was going Emily, or not Emily. He told me he was going Haz, and it was shocking and it was annoying because I trusted Sean and I felt like I knew he was playing both sides, but he just made me feel like he was gonna go with his word. But I realized I had to adapt my game, and that's why I tried so hard in the challenge, because without Emily, I didn't have my closest ally, and I had to win because I didn't think I was going to make the final any other way.
Haz, it seemed like everybody was trying to get you off the pole, and you seemed to take a deal. Why did you take the deal? Do you think it benefited you?
I mean, I was gonna fall anyways, so I was like, might as well make $500 in the process if Keon is gonna backstab me. So I just like said, yeah, let's do it, because my hand was falling off, so I just stepped off. And I mean, I think Keon's true to his word, so, and if not, I make $500, so like, that's a win-win. But yeah, like, Stut did the same thing. It's like, why not take the offer if we knew he was gonna win anyways?
Stut, do you feel like if you hadn't taken that deal, you might not have a good chance of making it to the final three?
Taking that deal was 100% same as Haz, just like a deal of desperation. I think I would have fallen like maybe 30 seconds after that if I hadn't taken the deal.
So Keon, making a deal, throwing a lot of money on the line, there was a moment where everybody kind of inadvertently realized that's potentially screwing over Sean. Was that worth it to you?
Might have looked like I was doing fine, but my hand was hurting just as much as their hand, and I realized that sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it, and I was faking that I was doing fine. I might have fallen off in a minute, maybe 30 seconds, you never know, so I told myself I need to win the challenge at all costs, and it sucks I had to betray Sean, but he just betrayed me the vote before, so I didn't say it was getting even. I think it was just, it made me put things into perspective that sometimes you gotta go against your word in this game.
So Sean, it's clear that you got at least one vote. What was your strategy to get Haz and Stut to maybe vote with you?
It's so tough, because me, Haz, and Stut, we're all literally like day one allies. Ever since we voted Luke out back in August, we've been voting together for the most part. And at the end of the day, like, I obviously tried to convince both of them, you know. Like, it's so tough because neither of them want to vote against each other, and I don't want them to vote against each other. It's just there's zero other options now with Keon having immunity. So at the end of the day, like, I can't say anything that'll, you know, I can't vote for them. So they'll decide, you know, whatever they think is best. Whoever they think, you know, will do better for the three of us in the jury. And I mean, honestly, for them, if they didn't want to make the choice, fire making is always an option.
Haz, is fire an option for you?
Basically, I'm like on an iceberg, and I have like Stut in one hand and like Sean in the other, and Sean's gonna float away, and so he's asking me to let go of Stut, and then they can, because there's only room for one more person on the iceberg, so then he's asking me to let go of Stut, and then they fight it out to see whoever gets on the iceberg with me, or I can just pull Stut up. That's
So you think you're the swing vote
also
here.
drop you.
Yeah, that's the analogy.
Can we like act that out?
So like if I have your hands, wait.
Okay, but
Haz, so do you think you're the swing vote tonight?
You off the iceberg.
I mean, that's what Sean's telling me, but I think he's telling Stut the same thing, so. Right?
Yeah, but to one of you, I'm being very truthful.
Because I feel so bad.
Only one of us? As in, like, obviously I can only vote for one person. $500. Anyone?
Yeah. All right. There's a lot of icebergs that play. Let's see who's actually.
Who's gonna die?
No, he could have, but I'd be next.
You know, I gotta say, when this group of people end up in the final four, I did not expect this council to be as lively as it is. Well, underdogs rule Survivor. So with that, let's get to the vote. Sean, you're up first.
Very little hope that I don't get out this round. I have almost basically given up unless I can persuade Haz on my way back to the chairs.
I really don't want to do this one. I'm sorry, Sean.
Saving myself $500.
I'll go tally the votes. I have the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final and the person voted out will be asked to leave the council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Sean, that's 1 vote Sean. Next vote, Stut, that's 1 vote Sean, 1 vote Stut. Sean, that's 2 votes Sean, 1 vote Stut, 1 vote left. And the 17th person voted out of Scotty Survivor Pirates Plunge, and the 10th and final member of our jury will be decided by this vote. And the vote is for Sean. Sean, tonight, 3's enough. Please bring me your torch. Sean, your ship has sailed.
Oh, yeah.
Just short. Time for you to go. You have been playing your hearts out for the past 85 days. The longest Scotty Survivor season to date with the biggest cast. A huge accomplishment making it to the final 3. You all should be very proud of yourselves. Now, your fate is up to the jury. They will cast their votes for the winner on Tuesday night. Get some rest, write your speeches, and get ready for final council.
I don't know. I mean, I had a blast. So like, I'm glad Xavier forced me to do Scotty Survivor. And I got too cocky at the end. That's what got me. I was like, I have allies on every side of this coin, and I should make it to the final 3 regardless. But Keon, man, Keon's fucking determination is too much for me. So, I mean, all 3 of them, I'm very happy with seeing any of those 3 win this game, and I couldn't have chosen a better top 3 without me in it. So, I'm pleased with how it went, if I count won this. I'm very curious to see what happens with the jury, and overall, I can only say that I did the best I could. So, I mean, I'm proud of my performance, but yeah, this does suck a little bit, but better than 20th, better than just losing straight up to Luke. So, can't be too mad about it.
Congratulations, Stut, Keon, and Haz. You have made it to the final 3 of Scotty Survivor Pirates Plunge. Arguably our most difficult season to date with a full 20-person cast. You did what your other 17 other castmates could not. You made it here. Now it's in the hands of the jury. You are going to be convincing them that you are the right person to win tonight. So, let's welcome the jury in one last time. Vita, Phoenix, Mia, Josiah unfortunately had to join us on Zoom. Lily, Jesse, Troy, Lexi, Emily, and Sean voted out at the last council. Finalists, jurors, thank you for your time. You all have done an incredible job this season. Thank you for making it what it was. The finalists are going to have 6 minutes to argue in their opening speeches to you. They can talk about anything in their game. Once they're done, it will turn over to you. You will get up one at a time, come to the podium. You will have 5 minutes to ask them anything you want, say anything you want to them, and then we will go to the vote. By random draw, the order is Keon, Stut, and Haz. So, Keon, the floor is yours.
First, I want to congratulate Stut and Haz on making it to the final. It's a long road, and I respect the game they played. I'm going to begin by talking about real Survivor. I started watching Survivor last year during quarantine, and it became something I fell in love with. So I want to thank the producers of Scotty Survivor for allowing me to participate in this. It's been a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
The first 2 seasons I watched were with Tony and Russell Hans. For those of you guys who don't watch Survivor, those are 2 of the most manipulative players in the game. They lie, they deceive, and they do everything possible to get to the next stage. And that's how I thought I was going to have to go in and play this game. I thought that's how you make it to the end. You got to lie to people, you got to trick them. And I soon realized that that was not the case. I realized that I'm going to have to adapt to the people that I'm with. If I played last season, I would have had to play a completely different game than if I played this season. So I started behind the 8 ball by missing the first challenge. It was out of my hands, I had to go home, and that was really unfortunate. I thought if my crew lost the challenge, I'd be voted out immediately. Fortunately, they did not, and I was actually put on a new crew. And this was tough because people had already met, people had already formed their first impressions, and I needed to join a new crew and meet people. Luckily, I had a week of immunity, and I was able to find 2 close allies, Sean and Ola. I worked with them together to ensure that we could make it to the next stage of the game. The crew switch, I thought I was put in a great position because I had a majority Calico Alliance and Emily. And I thought it was going to be an easy vote. We'd vote out Emily, and we'd continue playing the game. That was not the case. She played an idol, and my closest ally, Ola, was taken away from me. I was put behind the 8 ball again, and I was forced to adapt. That was when the merge came. The merge was really good for me because it gave me an opportunity to meet new people, and I had immunity that week, so I was able to form new connections. I formed a connection with Josiah. Josiah and I became a really close alliance, and we worked well together. We both were very open with each other, and we formed a pact that we'd never write each other's name down. And I think if Josiah wasn't voted out, we would have kept that pact together. That's when Lexi comes in. Lexi made a great advantage play, and she was able to vote out Josiah, which was a great move for her game because it gave Barbarossa an opportunity to have the numbers. And then that same night, she also presented the opportunity for me to get immunity. Now, a little into my decision there, I had begun talking to Emily before that vote, and we started talking about how our interests were aligned and how we could work together. Now, Sean I'd worked with earlier, and I still considered him an ally of mine. So when Lexi proposed the idea of me getting immunity and voting for Sean, it was perfect because if we split the votes, Sean would be immune if no one switched, and so would Emily, so my 2 closest allies and myself would be immune for that vote. Sean and I, we voted together, and we voted up Troy. Troy was someone I spoke to, and we were really close allies, but I had to make a decision there because I realized that if I continued working with Calico, I would not be in the place I am now. Sean was in a really interesting position because he was able to play both sides. It was dangerous, but he did it very well until the last vote, where I personally think he chose incorrectly and voted Has and flipped on me. Now, that flip made me realize that maybe I trusted him a little too much and played a factor in my decision in that final immunity challenge to make a deal with the 2 people sitting next to me and offer them a guarantee spot that I would vote for Sean. To conclude my speech, I just want to say that I might not be the most liked person up here, but I feel like using that, I was being not well liked and being able to keep my name off the parchment this entire Survivor is something I'm really proud of, an accomplishment that I just wanted to let you guys know. So thank you so much, and I look forward to answering all your questions.
First off, so it's no secret that as of a couple of weeks ago, playing touchy subjects, people did not think I was the most deserving of a spot in this game. And honestly, I get it. I haven't played the most volatile game. But in addition to winning who doesn't deserve to be here, I think I also won something about who you would make most trust your life with. And my game has been all about building trust. I focused early on making a few strong alliances, and since then, I have mostly stuck by those people no matter what. I think it says a lot that I've managed to play a really honest, clean game and still consistently put myself in a position where I knew that I would live on for at least a week. Yeah, so there have been a few notable exceptions to that. Ola isn't here tonight, partially because of me, and I don't think she saw that one coming. And Mia, I'm sorry for lying right to your face after defeating Scotty. That was a brutal night for the original Galtel's Alliance. So on Sunday, Tion won immunity in the Final 4 challenge, and it became clear that I was going to have to either vote for Sean or Has, 2 of my earliest allies in the game. Sean, I made a decision to vote you pretty early on. Honestly, mostly because you've been flip-flopping a little bit those past few weeks, and it's no secret that I was salty about that. Yeah, so it was a brutal Final Four council. But really, Sean, I think I knew that it was looking like you were going to go home, and I wanted you to at least know that in advance. I thought you deserved that much. Yeah. So So in general, I feel like this game has really, I guess Keon kind of said this too, but I feel like this game has really been all about the underdogs. Like if you had asked me on day one who I would have bet on, like to be up here, it definitely would have been, or maybe day two after I met you, it definitely would have been any of the three of us. I think I would have bet for any of the like louder, more outwardly confident players. But pretty early on, you started to get the sense that people would target literally anyone who made waves, like no matter who they were allied with. And so a key part of my strategy has been to keep a pretty low profile. However, that doesn't always work, and when I heard rumors that me and Ola were throwing my name around, I'm actually not even sure those rumors were true. This could have been just like, no, okay. I thought they were well, it worked either way. Yeah, I guess I knew that if I wanted to continue playing it safe, they would both have to go home soon, and they did. Challenge-wise, I got off to a pretty weak start. I remember like the day one relay race, and Ola was literally like grabbing my hand, dragging me to the Calico finish line. That was not me like playing it being weak or anything. I was literally just slow and tired. It was a pathetic day one performance. And I think the same can be said, honestly, for my knowledge of the game in general. Like, I came in here never having watched an episode of Survivor. I didn't know the difference between, like, a buff and an idol. But that's changed a lot since then. Yeah, the game is awesome. I spent, like, 4 hours last night watching, like, old episodes of You Missed Survivor, partially prepping for this today. Shout out to You Missed Survivor also. But yeah, in the past few weeks, I've also come a long way challenge-wise. There was the balancing points on the ruler, the repeating numbers from memory, the epic like Broly Chair Challenge with our personalized comics. And in total, I've won 3 immunity challenges in the past couple of weeks, not including the card challenge in Tepper that Sean and I threw for Habitat one night. Yeah, so the game has gone on for like 85 days. We've spent a lot of time together, and I'm guessing that for some of you, at least, it's going to be a really difficult decision tonight. To those of you, thanks for being here and for making that decision. I also just wanted to say it's my first semester here at CMU. I think actually it's all of our first semester. Yeah. Which is super cute. That's kind of wild. Hey, first people, even if I'm older. Thanks for having made it such a great first semester. And no matter what happens tonight, I'm hyped for watch parties next year for whenever this will be. Thank you.
Red. But I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase and explain like Keon did what my game was and then like what my strategy was. And so I think I want to talk about idols. First of all, I think idols was the most important part of my game and it's the reason I'm here today. First off, I found the Calico one with Phoenix and we were the only two that knew about it. And then I also, I don't know who hit it, but the fake Barbarossa one. And, I knew it was fake. Sorry, it's okay. Phoenix and I found it. Well, I found it and then I told Phoenix because I knew it was fake because I knew what the actual one looked like. So I knew that this meant nothing. And then Josiah and I were looking for the real one, and then I knew that Lexi found it instead of us, and then she gave it to Emily. And we all knew that Darion had it. Rip. And then, what else? I was with Sean when he found the idol, and I planted a fake that almost worked, but almost didn't. And then, I'm sorry, I'm so shaky right now. So basically, this entire game, I knew where the idol was. I knew who had it, and I knew probably when they were going to play it, and that gave me a huge advantage, because in my game, idols helped me instead of hurt me. My biggest gameplay, I think we can all agree, was when I played it on Sean. Because Phoenix had it, and I kind of messed things up because I thought it was safe, and I had to run, grab it, and then I had to make the decision whether to play it on myself, Sean, or Josiah. And I decided to play it on Sean because I didn't want you to take the fall for my actions, and I think if that worked, we could go together, like, we could move on together and be really strong after that. And who knows, I think that was really crucial to my game because later on, you played the idol on me, and I think that was, like, the best gameplay ever, and, like, not to brag, but, like, I thought that was really cool. And so, I just want to say that, like, I didn't win many challenges. Like they said, like, these two won 3 challenges each, which is incredible. I only won one for about 30 minutes, and it was because it was thrown to me. But in those 30 minutes, I realized something really important, that, like, winning a challenge and having immunity, you just get to, like, sit back and relax and breathe and kind of watch things play out.
which means that every other week I was fighting for my spot. I was like trying to stay alive the entire time. I like almost never had a chance where I was able to advocate for my alliances rather than myself. I was advocating for myself while I was I'm shaking, oh my gosh. I was advocating for myself while I was also advocating for my friends. And that was extremely hard. And I think the fact that I made it here today with barely having any immunity is insane. I don't know how I made it here. And I think it's also thanks to, there were 6 people where I could truly rely on. Phoenix, Troy, Mia, Sean, Josiah, and Steph. We weren't all working together, but I had each one of your trusts individually because like I had a feeling you guys trusted me and I trusted you and we wouldn't vote each other. I was never going to vote any of you except Sean. Sorry about that. I had to. I'm sorry. Look at that. But I knew that you guys weren't going to vote me, and that made me feel incredibly safe. It didn't mean that we were going to do what was best for each other's games. Like that was unfortunately Phoenix and Troy and like Josiah. You guys had to take the fall, which I'm really sorry for. I did not want that to happen because I wanted us to all make it to the end, and to everyone else, I like. I'm sorry. I tried like. Okay, I don't know how to put this, but I was loyal to these 6, which is important, like Keon and Seth were also saying. And every once in a while I tried to like jump ships, but it wasn't working. And then I figured like for my game, I really just need to stay loyal to the people I'm working with. And I had a bunch of stuff, but I forget it all now. So yeah, I was basically never safe, and I had to work really hard persuading everybody. It was just a tough semester, and this game was such an amazing like step away from reality. And every person deserves a spot, and I just want to say, like, vote for who you think play the best game, whether it's, like, winning challenges, being loyal, convincing people, or, yeah. And most of all, I want to thank Phoenix, my best friend and biggest supporter. It's not a pass. We're going to be friends forever, and, yeah. I think I'm running out of time, so my final remark is, who has all the votes? Has them.
Alright, thank you to our finalists. We are now going to start.
Okay, well, congrats to you 3. I definitely could have seen you guys coming, but it was also you guys were all underdogs, and I appreciate it. You guys did good. I respect all of your games. So my first question is for Haz. So from your perspective, this is about the Alec vote out.
Yeah.
So what happened in that council? Why didn't, I think you talked about this a little, why didn't you get the idol before? What made you get it? Because from what I saw, it seemed it wasn't really I wouldn't really consider it strategy, because it seemed it was Lexi being really emotional that got Alec voted out, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So from your perspective.
Okay, I can explain it because it was really hard to explain that in 6 minutes, but that was a crazy night. So Lexi and I had been speaking that time, and she told me she wasn't going to vote for me, so I thought I was safe that round, and I knew that Sean and Josiah wouldn't vote for me. So I gave Phoenix the idol on the off chance that I'd be blindsided, and then as we got to council, so the plan was that I think Josiah talked to Alec, and the 3 of us were just trying to stay in, and we were going to vote out whoever we could. And then I think Josiah and Alec were talking about Lexi, and I was like, no, that's not cool, because we were getting to know each other. And then Alec had that disadvantage where he had to be voted for, so Josiah promised him he would vote for him. So for Sean and I, it was just best in our case to stick with Josiah and vote Alec. So, and we didn't have a lot of time to really think that through, especially when I played the idol, because when we got there, Lexi, you guys were all talking, and so it was pretty clear to me that I made a mistake by not bringing the idol. And so then I ran, and Phoenix was in recitation, so I had to get her key card, then go back to her room and get it and come back. And by that time, I was I don't know who to use it on, and Lexi told me it was Sean.
So Stud, what would you say, because you did play very low, we know that, what would you say you're most proud of, what did you do that you were most proud of in the entire game?
I think my most proud moment, honestly, I feel like Ola going home was one of my proudest moments. I feel like I said, I kind of had, and not that was me alone who orchestrated that or anything, but I feel like throughout the game I've definitely kind of had strong alliances and mostly tried to kind of buffer myself from too much, like having to be too scared in the game with those alliances. But I think early on I ended up in kind of a situation where I was allied with a few people, we were talking a lot, but Ola was mostly like coming up with who, I don't know, just was very like inflexible on kind of who we were going to like vote for all together. And I think I was worried about things continuing on that way, because I think while I do like to have strong alliances and kind of hide behind that to some extent, to be honest, I like to have a good amount of influence, and I think later on in the game, within like those tight groups, I did have a lot more influence.
Alright, you next.
So, we're gonna bring icebergs into this. I don't know if you guys were there during the last council where Haz made a wonderful iceberg analogy where she was holding on to both Sean and Stut. Yeah, so I made, well, there's another iceberg analogy here today. And, okay, so this is Keon's iceberg. You can see it's pretty thick. It's pretty sturdy. And yeah, he's chilling on his iceberg. The waters are kind of smooth for a little bit because he has an idol, so he doesn't need to worry too much. Here's Stut's. Nice. It's like a little smaller, but like it's kind of thinner. Waters are like still smooth, but there's a little something. Because like, you know, people didn't mention her name too much. And she also had won a bunch of challenges to get, oh wait, did I say idol? I meant like won challenges to get immunity. She also won a bunch of challenges to get immunity. And then this is Haz's. Look at this itty bitty iceberg. And the waters are like this. It's insane. It's so rough. Because she didn't win any challenges. Isn't that crazy? Like, so she had to fight for her damn life on this itty bitty iceberg. And y'all, would you really want someone on this iceberg or this iceberg to win? Someone who was able to not worry as much as someone who was like holding on for dear life on this iceberg? Yeah, so in conclusion, where's the question? Oh, I wasn't gonna ask any questions. So in conclusion, I don't know, I just really think you should vote Haz, not because she's like my friend and like literally my best friend at the school, like literally not only because that, because I genuinely think she's been playing the best game, and like, she's like been going so hardcore. She like was so in danger after voting out Alec. Like, Barb hated her. You guys hated her because of the Alec thing. And then her name was like.
We did not hate you, by the way.
I really hate is the strong word. Y'all like thoroughly disliked that she did that. So she like had to get her name out of y'all's mouth. And then like when I got voted out, she had to like recover that because like from what I gathered, she felt like she was next, but she was able to lay low and like build herself back up and like not be seen as a threat until this point where she like went really hard and was able to get Sean out. Sorry, bestie. And yeah, I think she like played the best game out of everyone here. She outwitted everyone, outplayed everyone, outlasted everyone.
Alright, Leo.
Alright. So I'm gonna start with you first. Why did you and Sean, how did you guys come to a consensus without talking to throw the challenge for Haz? And why did you do that?
Honestly, I was a little worried. So like I knew at that point, like I had voted for you, right? And Haz was not voting for you. And I wanted to stay strong with Haz. So I thought that would build back a little bit of trust between us. Yeah, that was mostly it.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna be utterly and completely honest. I don't think you had much of a game. I feel like I do have to say this because, yeah, I appreciate you talking about when you did lie. That time about lying to my face during the challenge. But how did you feel you had more power after the Ola vote out? Because I'm curious about that.
Mostly just, I think like within the people, I guess, yeah, post-merge, I spent most time probably talking to like Haz, Sean, and Troy, and we talked as a group a lot. And I think I just meant like within that group, I had more of a decision, / made a lot of decisions about who we would be going for each week.
That's interesting. That's good to know. I respect you a lot more. Keon, why do you think you should be the face of Scotty Survivor?
I mean, is that the same thing as why do I want to be the sole survivor? Or like, what do you
No,
mean?
why do you want to be the face of Scotty Survivor after season 3? Do you think Scotty Survivor will be seen as reputable, or people will respect Scotty Survivor because you are the winner?
I mean, the reason I think I deserve to be the winner is because I played the best game. For me personally, out of these 3 finalists, I think that I was put in situations where I had to make new alliances, make close alliances, and I was really, every time I made an alliance, something would go wrong, and then I'd have to make a new alliance, and I felt like it was just, I was always behind the 8 ball trying to catch up, and then even the last immunity challenge, I had no alliances left, and I had to win by myself, and I think being the face of Scotty Survivor is someone who worked hard, and I agree, everyone in this room worked hard, but I think I worked extremely hard to keep my name off the parchment, and I think I put 110% in.
Do you feel like you put yourself in bad situations throughout the game?
Yeah,
and
I think.
What would you have done differently?
If I could redo this game, I think my first impressions would have been better. I think I came off very, very. I think I came off a little arrogant. I think I rubbed people the wrong way, and that's obviously not the way I want to be seen. You know, I consider all of you guys my friends, and I want to continue being part of Survivor even when I'm not playing. So I think that my biggest mistake was coming off the wrong way.
I don't have any questions for you, Haz. I think your game was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I just think you worked really hard. As you said, you won immunity challenge, and overall, I think you were the most loyal out of everybody here.
A lot of people were making a case for you, saying that you played an integral role in lots of blindsides. But it seems that you're not aware of these blindsides or what you did in them. So I just want to know, can you tell me who these blindsides were against and what you did?
So some blindsides included Luke, which was probably like one of the biggest things that Phoenix, me, Stud, Mia, and Ola planned, because we got out like a huge threat day 1, and like he had no effect on the game really, but it brought us together, gal pals. And so then after that, the blindsides that I was a part of, it was like, it wasn't like one person really leading the charge every single time. We all kind of came to a conclusion that we're gonna pick this person and we're not gonna tell them about it, because that's kind of how the game works. So in many cases they were blindsides, but I believe I didn't, like I said, I didn't backstab anybody, which is what I mixed up.
So were any of these blindsides, do you think that you were kind of like the driving force, or you kind of like, it was like, oh yeah, my group's doing this, I'm gonna go with them, and then you just have to be a part of it?
No, I think in many of them I had a voice.
In what way though? Like, can you like tell me like what's like like a tangible action that you took to have that blindside play out? That's what I want to hear.
Well, Jesse, I'm sorry, but when we tried to get you out when the advantage thing happened, I was advocating because I think you're a genius. Like, you're so smart. You work for, like, didn't you work for, like, Tesla? Like, you're so smart. And, like, when we spoke to you after one of the votes, I think it was, like, me, Troy, Sean? We spoke to you, and, like, everything you were saying was just so intelligent, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna win. And, like, so when I was with Josiah, we were, like, going through our options, and I was like, you're a huge threat, because you were, like, playing really low under the radar, and I kind of, like, and you're just, like, the upperclassman that's so smart, and everyone's, like, you know, and so I had a big voice in that. It didn't work out, but, like, the rocks were unfortunate, but I did have a voice in that because I saw Jesse as a huge threat, and then when Sean used his advantage to get Ida out, I also had a say in that because we all planned that to, like, vote for one another, and so that, because I also saw you as a huge threat, and then I also was in the blindside for you because I think Sean and Josiah, me, like, we all, like, Sean, I don't know who brought up your name, but I was like, I mean, we weren't in an alliance, So it just made sense for my game. So like the blindsides, they all worked out in my favor. So I was like, I had to have a voice in them, but I wasn't always the one like bringing up the names because I was one thing I did was I was extremely cautious bringing up names because I didn't want that to come back to me. So although I didn't bring up names, when they did come up, I would use my voice then.
Was there right now, so I could give you all a hug and congratulate you. I'm very proud of all three of you. I wanted to start with Stud. I really do respect your gameplay. A lot of people kind of say you sort of weren't really, relevant, or you weren't really doing much to establish yourself. But I think laying low was a big move, and you did win challenges. And then the first challenge you won with the pennies, full disclosure, like me and Lily and all of us, we were trying to vote you out. If you didn't win that challenge, like we were ready to vote you out. Because we were like, oh, she's going to go a long way if we don't get her out right now. So why do you feel like your strategy is better than the other two people next to you?
I will argue for myself a little bit over because I guess I said early on that I mostly went with honesty and that was a big thing and whatever, but I definitely did stab a few people in the back along the way. I think Mia was one. I think Sean, honestly, I unsuccessfully tried to stab in the back. And that would have been a big individual move had it worked. That really backfired when then Sean heard about that and organized the Troy vote out. That didn't really work out, but yeah.
Okay, cool. You're one of the people that I was closest to in this game. I feel like I've did you wrong so many times, and you've given me second and third chances, which is amazing. I really respect that. That's really respectable with your gameplay, and you're a super loyal player. Keon, I think you were probably my closest alliance in this game. You approached me day one that you were on Calico and you're like, I want to work with you. I know I'm definitely in the minority here, but I had a great first impression from you. So do you feel like you had a better comeback than Has, and why would you say that?
Yeah, no, I think, the reason I was put behind the eight ball was purely my fault, but I think the reason I would consider my comeback better was because my game never hinged on one person's vote. In the last two votes, Sean had the opportunity to vote out Has twice. He played the idol for her, and then he also had the opportunity where Emily and I approached him to vote Has, and he decided to vote out Emily. Now, that situation never arose for me, so the reason Has is here is because Sean wanted her to be in the game.
Okay, so I want to start off with Stud. I really do respect your gameplay. I really respect laying low and staying loyal to your people, especially in a game where honestly, a lot of it is about lying and being shitty. I think I've gotten a lot of generally very I've noticed you have a lot of integrity, and I really applaud your efforts over the semester. I think you definitely kicked a lot of ass, and I think that our gameplays might have been comparable if I had made it to the point where you are too. Has, I have a question for you. Please keep it kind of quick, because I also have a question for you, Keon. Why should any of us OG Barbs in the jury vote for you, do you think?
Well, like any of us would say up here, we all think we played the best game. And I know that none of you guys really knew my game, but I was hoping that as I explained it, you would realize that I did a lot more than I put on. And that a lot of the stuff I did, no one even knew, which proves that it was pretty good. And I did a good job keeping it under the radar. And I think, trying to keep it short, but I just deserve to win because I played hard. Even though I didn't win challenges, that doesn't mean I sucked at this game. So what if my vote one time relied on Sean? I think a lot of us were put in that position, and I knew that I could trust Sean because I saved you a bunch of times, and then you saved me.
Keon, you've won a lot of challenges. You're really fast, and you have a physical advantage in a lot of our challenges here. I can definitely say, at least in my personal opinion, you have definitely outplayed the rest of us. But with that being said, I don't really care about that because I actually think the challenges, in my humble opinion, the challenges are not what makes you a good player of this game. So I guess my question is, how did you outwit us
That's a great question. I think the way I would win it is a lot of people don't think I was part of a lot of votes, but I actually had a lot of knowledge that people didn't know about. Sean told me a lot of information about, Stun has, and Sean was keeping me in the loop with a lot of things, and Josiah kept me in the loop with, because he was close with Lily and Jesse, so Josiah gave me information on that, so I really do, and Emily helped me with information. She was really close with Lexi, and towards the end of the game, I became closer with Lexi, but before, when I wasn't close, Emily would keep me in the loop with Lexi, so I think I used my alliances to gain a lot of knowledge on players without actually seeming like I knew a lot, which made me seem like not a threat.
Friends, and you've made the season really fun, and I think you all have a very valid case as to why you should win, which, I mean, you've been presenting the last hour or whatever, but one thing I kind of wanted to touch on that a lot of people haven't focused on as much is kind of like the social relationship aspect of Survivor. How you think you played that aspect of the game well, and if there are any like key relationships or like moments that you remember that you think helped you down the line, because I think that part of the game is a little more understated.
Some of my notable relationships were definitely with Sean and Phoenix and like all the Calico people I said. They're just people that I would never vote out and that would never vote out me. And I think that even though I didn't really like cross lines to make relationships with the other side, in the end that didn't hurt my game because then people didn't look at me and be like, oh, she's playing both sides.
Yeah, no, I'll begin by saying I think that the biggest like social game move for me was making an alliance with Emily. As most of you probably know, she probably hated my guts the first 4 weeks of Survivor, but I found a way, I reached out to her, and we both realized that our interests were aligned. We both realized that, we could make it far together, and she allowed me to sort of work with Barbarossa, because when I sat there with Calico, I realized that I don't know whether it was me missing the first day or me not working hard enough to build those alliances, but I realized I wasn't going to make it far enough with them, and I had to make a move. Socially, being able to realize that I wasn't going to make it far without making like a radical change, which in this case was approaching someone who didn't like me and becoming really close allies with them, I think that was probably the most important social move in my game.
And stuff.
Yeah, I think honestly similar to Haz, I also remained tight with a lot of Calico people. We were tight, obviously. Haz and Phoenix, I never would have stabbed either of you in the back. Sean, we kind of went back and forth. You have this like specific tone when you're lying, and every once in a while I get that. Yeah. But like, I don't know, for whatever reason, you were able to lie to us anyways, and I respected your game like hugely, like more than anyone almost. I consider you a really tight ally, especially like yeah.
If you could compare how you played this season to an animal or a plant, what would they be?
I feel like I was very plant-like, but like an occasionally aggressive. Can I be like a Venus flytrap?
Yes.
I'm a plant, but I'm aggressive.
Well, I was actually thinking about this earlier. I was trying to figure out like an analogy for what kind of flowers we'd be. I was thinking like, oh, like daffodil, weed, whatever, like. Sorry. Anyway, I was thinking I would kind of be the bee because I feel like sometimes I like took information and I just like spread it. Some people look at me and they're like, oh, a bee, she could sting me. But I never sting anyone. I'm just trying to like save the earth.
Bumblebees don't sting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm a bumblebee.
My knowledge of plants and animals aren't great, but I'm trying to think of like a plant and animal that looks like really mean on the outside, but then once you like got to know them, they're not that mean. So maybe like a porcupine, I guess I'll say. I was like a porcupine because I feel like I didn't seem like a nice person, but then the people that I'm in alliance with, I really opened up and I became close with them. So I think if people got the opportunity to know me better, they'd get to know the real me.
So yeah, really quickly, if you guys can tell me your biggest mistake in the game, because I feel like you guys have been doing a lot of talking about things that I think were mistakes and owning them as wins. I want to hear about your biggest mistake, why you think it was a mistake, and how it changed your game.
It's hard because like what Steph said was very true, like not making relationships with everyone. But I think maybe my biggest mistake was not thinking ahead very much. Because oftentimes I was just trying to survive the week because I was like, I thought I was always a target. And especially with the Alec vote, I think that was one of my biggest mistakes because it did work out, but if it didn't, I could have screwed a lot of people's games up, and I acknowledge that. My mistake was not bringing the idol. That was really stupid of me, and then I would have like used it in a different way that wouldn't have been so chaotic.
Yeah.
I think my biggest mistake was not getting to, I felt like like I've talked, my game was heavily on individual or like not not many alliances, but having close ones with a lot of people. But I think that really limited me because I didn't get to know someone like Vita. I didn't get to work with Jesse. I didn't get to work with Lily, and I didn't really get to work with you until really late in the game, where we didn't like really have that much time to work together. And I think that if I could go back in time, I think I'd definitely get to know more people and branch out earlier on in the game rather than when you gave me that idol, and that's when I realized I wanted to work with you guys.
Yeah, I think there are a few. I think there's definitely what I just said, like not making more Barbarossa allies post-merge. Like I talked to some of you guys, but it was very surface level. Like we would just kind of lie to each other. We wouldn't really make plans together. I respected how well Sean played both sides post-merge, and I didn't really do that. I wish I had done more of that. Yeah, I think voting you out, Mia, was a mistake, and I've already said I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna plead the case for Keon. This is no shade to you two. Honestly, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Meeting you two has made me so proud to say that I go to school with people like that, and I genuinely mean that, and I don't give compliments very often. So, okay. I want to talk about the iceberg analogy. If you genuinely believe that Keon, of these three, was in the most stable position, you have not been paying attention. First of all, Keon came across as a huge asshole. I hated him. All of the Barbarossa girls hated him. And to my knowledge, a lot of people didn't want to work with him. And so right off the bat, if we're talking about rocky waters, he was the immediate easy vote. When we had the 14 challenge with the cup thing, and when we merged, I looked at my alliance and I was like, well, we know who's going home, and it's Keon. And the fact that Keon was able to come back from that, which in my opinion is a very fatal blow in such a social game, speaks a lot to his gameplay. I also want to talk about his loyalties. I think that when you look at Keon and when you think about like your initial first impressions, it's really easy to envision him as like kind of like snaky or slimy, but the reality is that he had at the max 3 close people. Like at one time, he had 3 close people. And then post-merge, it was 1. And then that guy got voted out, Josiah. And then it was me. And I am a very arrogant person as well. And I would love to come up here and tell you that like I was the one doing all of our moves, but the reality is I did not have the connections. Every time Keon and I worked together, which was, I think, post-Final 8, even on the Phoenix vote, we were conversing. After, like, I simply could not have convinced people all by myself because a lot of you guys didn't know me, right? So that was a lot of Keon, like, working his ass off to make sure that that happened, and especially to align with me. I was such a hard person to be allied with. My name was up for every single vote, and up until Final 5, at which point, like, we, like, feasibly couldn't have done anything, he was working so hard behind the scenes to make sure that, like, I wasn't going home and that he wasn't going home. In terms of his actual strategy, he didn't make flashy moves. He didn't find the idols, and he didn't have the advantages, and yet he was able to pull off many, many blindsides with the help of sometimes me and sometimes not even me. He played really hard, and he loves this game and wanted it the most, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people overlook the 3 challenges he won, but if you can remember back to every single challenge Keon like competed in, it was that challenge was the only thing on his mind. He put 104% to every single challenge, and it eventually paid off. Even at the very end, when Keon had to convince Haz and Step to flip on Sean, he was willing to risk what, like $1,000? Nobody wanted this more than him, and that's why he's here. And as far as like this whole loyalty thing, right? I respect your game, Haz. I think that you played a great game because you had a lot of the power, you had a lot of the connections, but Keon made it here without having any of that. I think that if you really love Survivor and if you really value strategic gameplay, it is Keon who wins, end of the session.
Alright, so once again, congrats for making it 1 round past me and being in the final 3. But no, don't worry. You guys all had incredible games, and I'm super proud. Like genuinely. You are 3 of the people that I'm like. If you had said at the beginning of the season that I would be in a Final 4 with you 3, I would have been so overjoyed to hear that. So, congrats. My question is the same for all 3 of you. This whole night you've been trying to persuade us why we should vote for you. Say what happened was we got to a tie and you were not part of the two that tied, and you had to decide between the two others. Who would you choose? Basically, say the other two were the final two, who would you vote for? Anyone can start once you have the choice.
I'd choose Has. If you're not voting for me, like, yeah, I mean, okay, sorry, hard to come up with right away because I feel like we've all been thinking about ourselves, like Sean just said. But yeah, if you're not voting for me, I would implore you to vote for her. She's played an awesome game. I wasn't there when pre-merge. We were like, you know, in our new Calico in Barbarossa, but I heard from her and other people like how dramatic that night was and how she came back from nowhere. Yeah, and it sounded wild. Like, I didn't go through anything like that. She did. She came back. Now she's here in the final three. Super impressive. Like, yeah, we played a great game.
I think this is a tough question because obviously these two work together, so they'd obviously want each other to win. If I had to pick, I think I'd pick Has. Just I think out of the two, if I was given the choice between Stun and Has, I think she did play the better game. I think she was a little more involved and she had to deal with a little more adversity. Not to knock Stut's game, but I think if I had to pick between those two, I'd pick Has.
Gosh, I don't know, because obviously I trusted Stut. If I were like in the jury, I'd be voting for her. But who deserves it? I might have to say Keon. I'm sorry, Stut. Like, obviously, I think you deserve it, and I like would want you to win. But I think Keon has played a good game that has also flown under the radar. I think Keon's just like a good competitor. He did always talk about like mindset, and although he did brag sometimes, which I didn't like, especially when we were at brunch. I felt like he was kind of like shoving it in your face that you were going home, which I really didn't like. And like, so I'm sorry, but like that last challenge was really good, and so because of that, I think I would have to say Keon.
So that was all, you know, being very much nice to each other. Now tell me, why did the two other people next to you not deserve to win?
Okay, I'm gonna say that I went through a lot of shit this semester, not to bring in like personal stuff, but I like came to this game as like a step away from reality, and I used all like my anger, frustration, sadness into this game, and I think that I played a really good game. I was like loyal, and like these two also worked really hard, but like obviously in my mind I think I deserve to win, but like looking at them two, I like still think I deserve to win, which probably sounds super selfish, but you guys can go.
I want to say not Keon because I feel like you've rested a lot on winning challenges, and I also won a lot of challenges. Great. Like, I honestly kind of agree with what Jessie said when she was questioning people. I feel like challenges aren't really what makes a good play in the game. I'm going to say Has doesn't deserve to win because though she has come back, not that she doesn't deserve to win, but I think her biggest flaw is that she did rest on other people a lot when it came to kind of making the decision, deciding who these alliances and these groups were going to go for.
I guess I'll start with Stut. I think Stut, your biggest flaw was getting the connotation that you weren't doing much or that you were kind of the GOAT, and that really came out when we did that challenge where people voted you for least deserving. I think that's a tough reputation to have, and it's a tough reputation to overcome. I think you've done a good job trying to present yourself as not the GOAT, but I think gaining that reputation is something tough to have and tough to convince the jury otherwise of. And for Has, I think that Haz's biggest flaw was not working with other people. I personally believe that like your game was heavily reliant on the original alliance you made, which kind of made it easier because you had 6 people you could trust, whereas like I didn't have that. So I had to like branch out and reach out to people, and I tried my best, you know, make new friends, whereas I feel like you didn't put in that much effort in reaching out to other people, specifically like the Barbarossa people.
Thank you.
Good luck, fellas. All right. Thank you, finalists, jury. It's now time to vote for the last time. Vida, you're up first.
You deserve it. It's not a Phasmom. Oh my god, I'm angry. Keon better not win. I love you. Win. Ow!
Years.
Others can say what they will, but like I know how intelligently you've been thinking about this the whole way through. You've had my back from the beginning, at least I think so, I hope so, otherwise this would be kind of awkward, but yeah, I think you played very well and deserve this vote.
Oh my god.
All right. For the last time, I'll read the votes. If you are looking for your name for the first time this season, you will need 5 votes to win. First vote, Keon. Next vote, Has. That's 1 vote Has, 1 vote Keon. Stut. That's 1 vote Stut, 1 vote Has, 1 vote Keon. Keon. That's 2 votes Keon, 1 vote Has, 1 vote Stut. Has. We have 2 votes Keon, 2 votes Has, 1 vote Stut, 5 votes left. Keon. That's 3 votes Keon, 2 votes Has, 1 vote Stut. Has. That's 3 ties for Keon and Has. Keon. That's 4 votes Keon, 3 votes Has, 1 vote Stut, 2 votes left. Has. We are tied 4 apiece. 4 votes Has, 4 votes Keon, 1 vote left. And the winner of Scotty Survivor Pirates Plunge, Keon. Keon, congratulations. You have won the $300 and the champion title of Soul Survivor.
Any final words?
No, I had a great time. Thanks everyone for playing. So that's it.
So Has and Stut, both of you played incredible games, and I can't wait to tell this story of how the 3 of you got here. Truly one of the most tumultuous games I have ever seen, and yeah, you all should be proud of yourselves. And that's it from Scotty Survivor. Thank you so much for supporting. We'll see you next season.